Hello and welcome back to Cities Skylines with me, Neat, and we are back in Goldfield, which is my first ever development of Cities Skylines, and trying to remind myself exactly where we left off. I think previously we'd worked on building up our industry and also putting in some more housing by our college over there, which has all grown in really nicely. We do have some issues with ambulances and hearses, so let's just have a little look at our hospital. And we've got good healthcare availability, but it's saying our health is quite poor. I don't know what we can do to really improve the health. I suppose the only thing is actually popping in a medical centre this side of town. I think is probably not a bad idea, and actually maybe coming off of a main road is not the worst thing in the world. That's not uncommon. Or maybe over a bit where we're going to have a little bit of shops. So I think we'll save it for now and we'll end up expanding out. So we've also got increased demand for the first time ever, high density, which is quite exciting. We've never had that before. I'm just going to check where the wind is coming from. So we've got wind coming across this way. We've got all our industry up there. And we've got 7 tiles. And what I'm thinking is, where do we expand? We obviously want to be able to put in some more housing. And we've also got to think about where the wind goes for the future. We've got a nice train station back this way, so I'm almost thinking to build this bit up and to start putting some industry going back this way as well as what we've been doing up there. I think is not a bad idea. The other thing that we've got is we have got ore mining, which I don't think we put any down, and we use ore deposits. So actually the first thing I'm going to do is just purchase those couple of tiles where the ore deposits are. Just those 2, so that we can put in some ore mining, and then we're going to go in and look at expanding our industry and where best to do that. Right, so we now have all our wonderful ore in place. So if we just have a little look at production, we are still in negative, but I'm just going to give time for that to, take effect and see what grows in. Hopefully we've got enough there. So again, we need to think about our industry, as we've got lots and lots of demand for it, and what the way the wind is going. We'll just double check all our production. And I think what we'll do is pop in some industry off of here. If we go for there all the way across, see what that looks like. And hopefully that will come up with some kind of specialised industry. That's what I'm kind of hoping for anyway. Almost linking everything up a little bit, and making it look a little bit more realistic, that you wouldn't just have mines, you might have a couple of industrial buildings around it. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll see what it grows in like and whether it looks good or whether it looks a bit dodgy. Just do that whole area, and that should be all right from a wind perspective anyway. Yeah. I'm really liking how these farms are grown in though. I think that looks a bit more realistic, and the same with the trees, how it kind of all merges. And again, that's not unbelievable having all that there. So we've got a load of not enough customers, which basically means we need more people living here. So it's thinking about where we want these people to be. I'm thinking we start to look at expanding our city and putting in some more housing. So let's go and purchase those 3 squares there. We've done all 3 then. And again, we'll just make sure there aren't any resources. No, we're all good. And then I'm going to follow the cul-de-sac vibe off of this bit. And that should be enough little cut-throughs, really. Everyone can get everywhere. And then yeah, so everybody can kind of get everywhere now if they want to. We've got an overpass here, we've got an overpass there, and generally nice and easy, really, isn't it, for people to get everywhere? And apparently they don't like having to, you know, move places. I have to have a path near them anyway, that's what I meant to say. Yeah, so if I don't really speak very good English, if I'm a bit gibberish, it's because I've got a fever. And I just honestly do feel a little bit pants, but it's one of those things that can't be helped, you know? And then it's saying we've got more need for industry. Oh, look at that. That looks quite good, actually. Maybe if we continue the trend a little bit, I'll fill that out as more industry. And see what that all grows in like. Oh, I just love the way that looks from up above, you know, having the wonderful lakeside here with the walk around. It all just looks very majestic. Probably not, it's not very even here, I admit, but, you know, I still think it looks really, really pretty. And then the slightly more mid-rise and the more mid-rise here, I think that all looks fantastic. And I can't wait to see more mid-rise buildings. So far traffic is okay, but I don't want to curse myself. We'll level out the land over there shortly, and yeah, we've got more need for more housing, but what we want to do is start to look at more modes of transport to build or to cope with the increased demand population, and I'm thinking we've got this lovely train station here. If we can start connecting the dots and hopefully bring in more ways for people to basically travel, I think we're going to see better, I suppose, results with that. So let's look at purchasing all those tiles over there, and we're also going to look at our development points and see what else we can get put in. I'm thinking if we go for those ones for now. Oh, look at that. Let's zoom in. So it looks like it's we've unlocked the Villa City, an old style soda bar with a large rooftop terrace where patrons can enjoy a beverage. Oh, let's see if we can pop that in our city first. So we've got some room amongst all these wonderful buildings. So let's have a little look. And it is a Villa City. Look at that. Let's have a look at what it looks like. If we pop it, I think it would fit quite nicely here. And then let's see what that looks like. Okay, so it's a bit of a smaller building actually. So I'm going to move it so that it actually fits in with some of these smaller buildings. Maybe if we pop in here. Oh no, you're next to the big building still, aren't you? Let's move that here. I mean, that looks quite cool, doesn't it? And then that leaves room for some more shops either side. Oh, that's cool. So it reduces the cost of importing goods citywide, it increases the attractiveness, and it increases well-being, which is great. And it does beverages. Oh, you love to see it, don't you? And then I saw there was another one actually, which I hadn't. We've got a muscle car. Oh my god. Look at that, that's huge. Okay, so that's not going to go in a big city. That needs to be like almost like an outlet village. I don't know what it's like in other countries, but in England there's like places where like are almost like little shopping centres but are like away from everything else. So I think that's something that we can look to do in the future. So without further ado, let's look at our development points and see what we can do with trains. But just beforehand, I just want to have a look at these buildings. So like this is like old farm buildings. Oh, I just think that's so cute. And they've done like little orchards, look. Oh, so cute. I wonder if I can move. I can't move them, which is rather annoying. But it gives us hopefully reason to Oh, it doesn't even have any resources. That's a bit of a pain. I was going to say we could almost build some farms around it to make it look like there was something that used to be there and we've built on it, but alas, not to be. So let's have a look at our development points then. So we have 11 points, which is quite a lot. We have the ability to put in some better parking. We have the ability to put in better electricity. But at the moment, our electricity is absolutely fine and dandy. And we are actually making some money. And I know, yeah, we can charge more for our electricity. Good. We have water. And currently we are doing just about okay, actually. We need to start looking at water. So let's just have a little look. We have bought the wastewater treatment plant. And whether or not we look at the advanced pumping station, but that's 8 points, which is quite a lot. So let's just have a look at what we've got water-wise. A wastewater treatment plant. Does it have... has medium pollution, noise pollution, and everything else is low. Whether or not we can pop in... does it have to be on... processes sewage and purifies its pollutants. Can be upgraded. Does it matter where it is? Can it be anywhere? It does look like it can kind of be anywhere. Whether or not for now we just plonk him, if we extend this road down and plonk him down here. Just so we've got that advanced sewage network. And is that going to help with our pollution? It didn't do anything, actually. I thought it would do, but I suppose maybe all it does is purifies it so it doesn't get as damage. Yeah, so it purifies its pollutants. It can be upgraded, so we can upgrade it to put more sewage back as fresh water, or we can increase the capacity. Just going to give it a minute to see if it does improve anything. So it's improved sewage and it has improved water availability, actually. So for now, we'll keep that as it is. Oh, I forgot there's a little cute house here. I'm sorry, you're being moved. We're going to pop you over here with these guys because you're really cute. And we'll put another pathway. I do love those little... There you go, look at that. All the cute buildings, very sweet. So, we now need to look at, like I said, our development points. I keep getting sidetracked. We have had issues with healthcare. We haven't actually put in a hospital yet. So whether we look at doing that, that's not a problem. Recycling, we've just put a college in, so we don't need to look to upgrade that yet. We have also bought the police headquarters, and I think we'll buy the fire station ready for the future. But what I really want to do is look at trains. So let's just look at how much the hospital costs. Way too much money, 1,800,000, which I don't have. It says, I thought we do have a crematorium. We do have a crematorium, but it's saying, oh, we don't have enough capacity. Fair enough. So we could improve that. And then we've also got our police station and our firehouse, all of which we currently don't have the money for, but we have the money for trains, ladies and gentlemen. So we need to put down a rail yard which stores and sorts the trains, and then we can put down an actual train station. And I'm thinking, if the wind is going to go back this way, we probably will end up having more industry over this area here. Likewise, we have over this side. So I'm thinking actually this space over here isn't a bad spot for a rail yard. And then we can almost put a train station down on the other side. I don't know if that's a terrible idea. You know, let me know in the comments below. I'm just wondering if that's a good idea, linking this bad boy up somehow. And in order to do that, I need to purchase that other square. Okie dokie. So, I just love the way that looks. I like the idea of building around it. I think that's going to be really cool. So, we have maybe if we do it like that, so it literally is right up against it, or we have it further along. If we go further along, level it up a little bit, and then we've got tracks. So and that looks pretty good. So we've got an issue with water and electrics, and obviously that's because we haven't got a road up. We're going to go for a big road on this one because I'm thinking he's going to be a bit of a hub. Whether or not it needs to be that big, but we're going for it. Let's see how that looks. I think that looks okay. Not obscene. And then we'll put a little roundabout at the end just for now. If it fits, yeah, we've got one. And then we just need to level out the terrain because he's sunken it down. And then we'll soften it out. And obviously that bit we'll work on when we can. So we now have a cargo train, or a rail yard, sorry, and it is a large complex used for storing, sorting and maintaining trains, and it can be upgraded with extra tracks, which is really cool. And the upgrades just go over the top and a bit of an extension, which is great. So we now want to think about an actual train station and a cargo train terminal, which is fantastic. So train station, I want to start bringing into where our little hub is, and I think actually, at least where I live, we have a train station right by the bus station. So I think that would look really, really, really cool. What it's going to do is change it up a little bit though, because yeah, it's gonna struggle to fit, isn't it? Right. Let's pop in our rail line. So if we go to transport and we click on passenger rail line tool, at the moment we can really only go outside of the city and back. Whether or not it will let us, let's have a little look. And we now have our first ever train lines. Now, admittedly, these are train lines in and out of the city, so hopefully it will help with like tourists and things like that, and anyone that wants to commute to our city for work purposes. But we don't have a need yet for like internal rail links, in my opinion. I think we'll keep that as it is. But I think that's well positioned. You know, we've got the bus station literally just down the road, so people can then walk all the way down. We've got taxi terminal as well, so there's a lot of places for people to get to, which is fantastic. I forgot about the massive hole in the ground there. Now, the other issue we have is we put in bus lines initially to our kind of Love Heart Lake, our Emerson Glade and our Goldwood Gate, but we are yet to district out this area. I say that, there's Cherry Park is a district. I think if we extend it all the way out and make it all one district, I think that'll work okay. And we'll see how that comes. I mean, I'm not the best when it comes to prettify the roads. I must admit, it's not my forte. So we've got really no room here, have we, for anything? Let's pop a couple of trees in. That looks all right. It's annoying when there's just bare gaps. I'm not a big fan of bare gaps. We've got a traffic accident over that way. Have we got traffic issues? We do have traffic issues, and this is always going to be a bit of an issue. We've got a traffic jam over here with people wanting to go straight, people wanting to go left, people wanting to go right. The other thing is we've obviously asked for more buses. Let's just double check how many buses they're going to send out for that one. So intersections then. We haven't bought intersections. So let's buy intersections. Let's have a look at what exists and whether we can turn that into like one of these, I'm thinking. Oh, wow, that's huge. Whether or not I could make a mini version. I think that's just so massive and it doesn't need to be that massive. Do you? No, it doesn't need to be that massive. I hope so anyway. We're going to find out now. Why are they all so ginormous? Right. What we're going to do, and this is going to be a terrible idea, but we're here and we're going to give it a go. Cool. Oh, I see what the issue is. I haven't connected that whole road. I'm putting in this whole infrastructure to make this more road safe in the future, and I'm an idiot that hasn't... I mean, we might as well, now that we're here, continue doing what we're doing and connect all of this up. So let's just see where we're at. Let's delete. So the issue here is that everyone has to go that way to get into town, which I hadn't clocked. So, can't believe I hadn't clocked that. So we're going to purchase that bit of land and actually connect this whole thing up, which was always my master plan, and life got in the way. We're going to keep it a bigger road. And then we want to actually connect all the way across this way as well. There you go. And we can't do the fun bridge thing. Damn it. Okay, let's let those houses rebuild, because apparently they don't like being connected to the city even quicker than normal. It probably means I should fix the bus routes again, because there's now quicker ways for them to get around, but we're here now and I can't be asked to fix the bus routes. So let's see what happens with the traffic jam over this way. I'm hoping it's going to fix the issue once these guys all get along where they're supposed to go. It's just, if there was a way to fix the roundabouts a little bit, so you don't get people in weird lanes and like, why is he stopped? You know, why is he stopped? There doesn't seem to be an easy fix for that. I suppose the only thing is upgrading. Oh, it's not going to work anyway. I'm intrigued to see whether this 8-lane road really does help with traffic. I don't think it will do. But I'm hoping that's going to be like the main way in now, that people aren't going to come through this bit. And actually, I'm going to upgrade this whole road down here to be exactly the same. If I can, I'm going to have to delete some paths that I put in, which is just typical. But that should be fine. And again, we're thinking this is going to be a busy road. The bus terminal one, I would need to move things along to do that. I don't know whether I need to for that specific area. I think we could get away with it, so we'll keep that as it is, or hope so anyway. We'll find out. So we now have our public transport hopefully much improved. If we look, we've got 4,500 people using buses, and the bus lines aren't too busy, which is good. Taxis, we've got 500 people using them, and we've got 8,000 people living here, so we've gained 2,000 people so far this episode. We are also now making money, which is finally a relief, and we need to put in more chicken and corn, and also some more, what is that, oil. So without further ado, let's put in more of our farming. Oh, that's looking so good. I like how that's all coming across. It looks like I've got a huge farming development out off to the side. I've got loads of lack of labour. And if we have a little look at our employability, which is we have 0.2% of unemployment, which means everybody is trying to get employed. And most of our people are adults, which is good. And basically, we don't have enough people for how many jobs there are. So we need to really be encouraging people to move here, basically. We need to put in more housing. People are also struggling with crime and taxes, but crime is the main issue. Now, we don't have the money for the police headquarters, unfortunately, which is annoying. If we just have a little look at our police station, we can upgrade him though, and the same with our firehouse. I think if we upgrade both of them, that should help with the crime. And we'll see what changes there, whether our crime improves or whether we need to put in some more police stations. That could be the answer. Yeah, -13, okay. Let's just have a little look at crime then. What are we dealing with? Loads and loads of crime. Crime probability and police coverage. I mean, industry I'm not too fussed about, but whether or not we need to put something in place. You're not too expensive. We'll pop one over there, and then we will pop one on. We'll pop it on the main road, actually. I don't think that's an obscene thing to do. So that should help with that. The fire-wise, again, it's not perfect coverage, but it's not as bad. So we'll stick with where we're at with that. And then hopefully people that need to get to the cargo or the rail yard, we'll put a cargo train line in at some point. I'd love to... No vehicles available. Let's have a little look. That's our road maintenance. And that's fully upgraded. So our park maintenance, and that's all okay. Bus depot. If we put an extra garage, that should fix that issue. And then taxis, we've got 22 out of 25, and that's all okay for now. Hopefully that's going to help with the bus situation. I would like to fully upgrade the whole road and maybe push him back. Finally, we have fixed the issue with our buses and our roads, and I think that's all looking so good. It's going to look really good once all the trees and everything grow in. We've increased need for medium density housing, so let's pop all that in. And then we need to work on more low density. Oh, look at that. It's going to start to look really good as this area all builds up more and more. We have a big issue with death care, and actually we don't have a hospital. We also cannot afford a hospital yet, but here's hoping. We are in a position where we are starting to make money. Our production of goods, we still need to work on the chicken and the corn, but everything else and the rock is doing okay. Our traffic issue over here is now completely gone because everyone now can go all the way down here instead of along this road, which is going to make a big difference. Yeah, it's all looking fun-dabby-dozy. So the last thing we're going to do in today's episode is start to work a little bit more on some low-density building, I guess. We need to expand our low density. And just before that, I'm going to just double-check our college. We have 273 people out of 1,000 people going to college, which is great. That's really, really fantastic. We could upgrade, which is going to help with the chances of graduating, but for now I don't want to mess with too much. We are making £162,000 a month currently, which is great, and yeah, just generally I think things are starting to improve, other than the crime, but the crime has gone down a little bit, and healthcare and things like that, but we will get there. So the reason why I've left a gap down this way is I'm saving it to put in, like, I want to put in kind of our hospital maybe, and we'll start making it a little bit more dense around this side, like a little bit of a mini larger city area going up to where the trains are. I suppose the other thing we could quickly pop in if we've got the money for it is the cargo terminal, which means we could then export goods. Whether or not we could get away with him just being on the other side. Can't remember which one's which, but it should be fine. It shouldn't matter too much, should it? Right, so the last thing we're going to do then, we'll let that kind of do what it's doing and see, because suddenly, funnily enough, our income has skyrocketed the second we put in our cargo terminal, because we can now ship out all our goods. What will be interesting is to see how the how the traffic is affected with all of that. Because I imagine it's going to cause a few issues. So, like I said, the last thing I want to do is put in some few extra bits of, I suppose, housing. I'm hoping to put in over this side over here. So we've got 2 squares left to do. And if we do those 2 squares, and we'll design ourselves a nice new area. Right, let's see how this grows in. Again, at some point we'll have to do some decorating and pathing as we have done before. It's not quite as uniform as the bits that I've done before, but I think it will still look really, really good. And I think going from 6,000 to we're now at 9,000 people, I think that's just incredible to see such big growth. It's yeah, really, really interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens as we start to get into like the 10,000 in terms of traffic, because at the moment everything is moving quite steadily, if I do say so myself. I'm sure we're going to have some issues, particularly with crime and hospital care, but we will see. Let's let this grow in. And we now have everything grown in this area, and it all looks pretty good. We've got all our shops down the high street, which is our kind of standard format in this build. We've got our houses everywhere else. I think the only thing that I need to do for the next time we're on is connect, put some pathways in and decorate really. The last thing I'm going to do, just because we hadn't done that, is just put a nice path here, so people can actually connect through. There we go. That looks good. And then I might just do I think that's suitable. So I think that's where we're going to leave it. She says, looking at some traffic coming in, but I don't think it's too bad actually. The traffic, it's clearing up already. I think there was a road accident and some bus issues, but we can fix the buses in the next episode. I think that's where we're going to leave it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Next time we come on to Goldfield, we are going to look at putting in hospital care, proper crime, proper police stations, the full whack. We're going to start to build this place ready for a city. Let me know in the comments below if there's anything that you think we need to do differently, or if you've got any ideas or suggestions for this build. And yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. Bye!